Hey guys, I know I haven't updated you in a while, so I haven't really had anything to show. Now I think I got it to a place where I can show off a little bit here what I've been working on. So what you see on the right side of the screen is a MySQL database and a PHP script. A couple scripts here that I'm going to go over real quick, just to sort of uh, get you to understand what I was thinking here. So currently, I wanted to avoid the situation that I wanted to avoid the situation we're in currently, where nobody can play the game without a server being hosted. So I wanted people to be able to host their own games and host their own login servers. So what I have here is this is the required sort of script you'd need to put on your web server on your index. Is you just need to require this process.php. So what that is I have a bunch of stuff in this sort of file here. So there's um, this is the only other require that there is. So the only thing you need to do on your web server is you need to plop that in at the beginning, and then you set this up. So what this is your server, your username, your password, your whatever you want it to be called, and you'll understand this name. I'm going to call this from now on generic field 2 just to avoid any problems or minimize problems. And then whatever you want your username to, your user tables to be called. So in this case, I'm just going to call users. It doesn't particularly matter. Um, so what this process.php is first off, it'll set up the, as you can see, I don't even have it in here, but what it'll do is set up the table, set up the database, set up all the tables, and then it has these functions in here that'll tell the score and all this other stuff here that you'll see in a little bit. And then what it does is it at the very end of all of this, it'll pop out a JSON so that sorry, my dogs are going crazy here. Um, oh my god. Okay, so anyway, so let's go back here. So if I just take this off screen, plop one thing back in here. So let's save that. Just maximize this. So if let's launch this and I'll kind of show you what I've been working on. So here's the introduction screen, the splash screen, whatever you want to call it. So in the top left is if this is, it says user profiles. It really shouldn't, but this is basically saying that you have a save file on file. um, so I got this music, I got it here, I got this image from something just to get this general idea. This is all free stuff that I was able to find. So um, yeah, let's say I don't like this music, I can turn the music on and off. Um, so let's just turn it off for now. But this up here is, oh, hey, Geo, I really hate that name generic field. Well, I did set this up to be, whoops. So you can actually change that, and then the next time you play, it'll actually save it. And same with this. So, I don't know, that's just a random name I picked. But it'll save those. So we're just going to go with generic field 2 for right now. So let's click the play online button. Now, if you don't have anything set up, this is the first screen you're going to get. And enter your ID as if you have a current username that you'd like to log into on a server. So this will be set to a static IP address of a web server sometime in the future if we have one. For right now, I'm running it on my machine, so localhost is fine. Now, as you saw here, I don't have even a database. So what I need to do is create a new one. I'm gonna create a name, create a password, and then again, this would be this would, let's Billy Bob's IP address or whoever, right? Whatever your thing is. So it's going to create an account. Now it was successful. So if we go back over here and we sort of refresh here. Oops, sorry, let's go. So now you see generic field 2 is created with user table, and um, it's got the password. It's got the username and password, and it's got a bunch of other stuff in here. So this is where the medals would be stored, and for your ribbons and score and all that stuff will be calculated here. So just as a side thing, the passwords are locally stored with a SHA-256 no, I was going to say it's not encryption, it's a hash. And then there's a salt stored on the server. So you'd have this password, um, and then those two are SHA-50, 256 hashed, and then it just checks if those are equal. So there's a little bit of security there. It's not high high crimes and misdemeanors here. It's relatively secure, I guess, for the application that this is. So let's go back here. So now, if I were to log out, or sorry, pause, you can see the music stays stopped, or whatever, or I can turn it back on. So, and then now I don't go to this screen anymore. I actually, since I have a profile, it's here. Now, let's say for some reason the login server was different, and something changed, but the data got, I don't know, I was trying to figure this out, but you can change this actually on the fly and it'll save. So, and that's just the login server. So again, the password is stored in here. It's SHA-256 hashed. So it's, again, relatively secure for what this is. So if we go ahead and log in, what this will do is it goes on to the um, server. Let's see if I can, oh boy, okay, let's go here. So I have no PPH, no score, no medals. So let's just go here, and not all this works exactly, but let's go with seconds played. I'm just going to type in a random number. I'm going to set some of these medals to 1, so you can guess, and then I'm going to get scores. Let's say I'm 20, whatever that number is. So now I've changed this. This didn't update here, but if I log out and log back in, you can see now my VPH is a little bit high. Let's make this full screen. But it's updated the rank, the PPH, the score, the medals. And the medals will show up down here. I don't have images for them yet, and I don't have this all set up just yet. But that's where this will show up. Um, one of the other little things here is at the bottom I have these keys set up. I found some free icons that I was able to use. But let's say you want it for nostalgic purposes. You say, okay, well, actually, I want the PlayStation ones, or I want the Xbox ones, or whatever. And I don't know the keys exactly, so feel free to comment below for the Xbox. But if you just click on this down here, you'll see that it actually will change over to whatever. And again, that's also saved. As soon as you click on it, it saves your preference. So the next time you open it up, this will always be the same. And this will be one of those things that I can hopefully, part of the thing I'm doing right now is I'm rebuilding this from the ground up. So I have the old stuff saved on a different project. This one I'm building from the ground up so that everything is a little more coherent and talks to each other a little better. Because I noticed in the last version, I just had so many band-aid fixes and stuff. It was getting a bit ridiculous. So this is that's a little feature I got in there. So I'm gonna set that to that. We'll log in. For the keyboard only, it changes this to proceed because right now there's no buttons to push, so you just push enter, and then that brings you up here. So I have 3 things. This will eventually be where the clans and all that other stuff, but right now this doesn't work, and options doesn't work either. It doesn't do anything. So I can host game or I can find game. So if I say host game, right now the player hosted matches well, they don't track stats because I'd have to hard code something to talk to the server, and then I have to trust that no one's hacking any servers, and it's like, okay, right now I don't want to do that. So eventually, I think what we'll do is we'll have dedicated servers that um, will be able to, um, actually, now that I think about it, just saying it out loud, with the user servers, I'll probably put an option in here to track stats locally if you are the owner of the server. So, for example, me and maybe a couple other people would be able to have the password for the, um, this web server here, whatever the official one is, and then other people can have their own. So I'll probably pop that in there. Anyway, so I have a drop-down menu here. And the way that this online system works is right now I'm tied into Steam, and because it just seems to be with Unreal Engine, it seems to be the quickest, easiest way to get some of this working. I don't have a ton of experience in this stuff, so if anyone knows of a better way, I'm all ears. But this ties into Steam, and that'll probably cause some issues with some other stuff. But for now, you can sort of ignore it. So let's say I pick Backstab, which again, I don't have these maps, whatever. They're just blank maps. So let's say I put my maximum number of connections at 2. Actually, let's just, well, I'll just set it to 24. It doesn't really matter. You'll be able to do invite only, and I'm going to add a bunch more things in here, like which clans and blah, 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 that kind of stuff. So if we go ahead and we say host, it starts up the name. I've got this up here. And you're going to notice in like 2 seconds, it's going to start saying random stuff. I have that just to sort of as a placeholder. So right now the server is just generating. It picks a random person on the server, a random way they died, and then the random victim, whatever you want to call it. So they're all white because this guy doesn't have a team assigned just yet. So let's put him over here. Let's add another. Can I do this here? There we go. Let me just create a new one real quick here. We'll call it evil. No, no, no. We'll call it I don't know, other user one. So now we log in under other user one. Yeah, as you can see, this is not made to be that small. So we go to find game. It's got searching for servers. Bring this up full screen. And this is the Steam thing, so I was able to get the player hosted server, which was the name. I should have changed it, but that'll actually change with whatever I change it. The map, how many players are in it, the ping, and whether or not it's player hosted, which right now it is. So if I click on this, it'll actually join the game. There's a login screen there, but as you can see, other user joined game. And again, it's just picking random things. So sorry, let me do this. So if I go over here and I push 1, that assigns this guy to a team. And if I push 2, it assigns him to the other team. So now you can see that they're vice versa. So right, other user was red on that, and it's blue on this one. So it was just to show that I have it. So that's actually set up. The teams are set up now so that this should start talking to each other better than it was because it was a mess on the other one. So this is backstab map, obviously, as it says right here. So I got to rebuild a little bit of that, but it should be a little more coherent than what it was. But as you can see, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm trying to think if there's really any other major sort of, oh geez, oh my god. Generic combat. Yeah, that's beautiful. So let me know what you guys think about this. It's all here. So this is, and the backspace button does this. I mean, I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, you can delete them. Now this doesn't delete them off the server, it just deletes them locally. So like right now I don't have any things. So I go to enter and let's say I actually log in with the correct, or let's say I screwed up, right, and I put the wrong password. Now it saves it here, but when I do this, login failure. It does not like that I did that. So let's delete that. And let's try it again with the right password. And boom. Okay, I typed it too fast. And now it works. Then this login token thing, that'll be used for something else, but that's sort of the progress we got so far. So let me know what you guys think. All right, see ya.